Here were the three biggest times I got burned by the music industry and how you can avoid the same traps. I know I talk on this channel a lot about the things to do, things that can move you forward, but I also want to talk about the things that you need to look out for that are going to hold you back. So the first time I got burned by the music business was paying a manager $300 a month to fundamentally do nothing. It was something that we did back in like 2013 because we thought we had to. We thought that's just what you do when you're a band. You become a band and then you get a manager. The rule of thumb here is if you're a band and you don't have like people just blowing up your email with opportunities for you to take, it's probably not a good idea to get a manager because you don't have much to manage. The second time we got burned by the music industry was when we got signed up with our first label. That whole process was just pretty unpleasant. People coming in and saying how we should write the songs, how quickly it needs to get to the chorus, take out this breakdown section. Not to mention taking our money to go pay a guy at radio to give us spins at 3 a.m. when no one's listening, and then come back to us, be like, hey guys, we got spins this week. Spins are not equivalent to the amount of people that tune in while it's being spun. And so we ended up spending thousands of dollars to do something that didn't move our Spotify monthly listeners even a little bit. Just took that money and And number 3, we did something called a buy-on for our first national tour. Now, while I made a lot of great contacts that got us future gigs and all this kind of great stuff that happened on that tour that we learned that kind of refined us into a really good, solid road band, we did not need to be paying to be there. And ultimately, we found out there were other gig opportunities that we paid for in the future that other acts were getting paid to be there, and we were basically at the same level. The dirty secret is once you get labeled a buy-on band, you get targeted by bands that are willing to have you, but they're literally just kind of viewing you as a cash cow. And depending on how big this artist is, some of these buy-on fees could be as high as $25,000. So you have a quota of merch that you have to sell and a level that you have to keep your expenses at to even make that worth going out in the first place. And I unfortunately know a few musicians for which that's the case, and their band isn't even around anymore. And honestly, all 3 of these mistakes come from one problem: not understanding how the music business really works. If we had understood exactly how the music business worked, then we wouldn't have been going to seek a manager knowing that we really didn't have anything to manage. If we understood how the music business worked, we would have done our own marketing and took the money that we gave to labels that they just turned around and did meta ads for. We could have just done the meta ads and kept the rights to the music while it was in its peak income years. If we understood the music business better, we wouldn't have taken those buy-on opportunities. We would have been able to negotiate and actually get paid to be there, but we didn't think we had any leverage. So if you commit to being more entrepreneurial and learning how the music business works, you're setting yourself up to avoid these traps that I fell into in the beginning stages of my career.